Alright, ladies and gentlemen, in this video, I'm going to be going over some weird NFL scheduling quirks for the 2024 schedule now that it is out. I did also do this for baseball, and this is just my personal preference on what I find to be random about the schedule. It could be a 4 o'clock game, it could be just a random 8 o'clock primetime game between an AFC and an NFC team that normally don't play each other, but it is kind of fun. So the first thing that I noticed right off the bat, it seems like they're really doing away with the preseason 10 o'clock Eastern starts. So it's like if the Seahawks were at home, they'd be playing at 7 o'clock Pacific. Well, now it seems like they're changing it to really have 10 o'clock Eastern starts in the preseason. Not that that matters too much. Also, I thought this was funny. 125 Cowboys at the Rams. Maybe that's a neutral site game or something, but if that's in LA, I mean, these are all Eastern Standard Time. I should mention that as well, by the way, that I am Eastern Standard Time. So that would be 10:25 Pacific Standard Time. I highly doubt that. And then they also do have some noon games in the preseason. I'm not used to that at all. Obviously, Eastern Standard Time, we normally have the 1 o'clock kick, the 4 o'clock kick, but in the preseason, it is a little bit different. And then you do have, of course, a 10 a.m. game, the Rams-Texans. I don't know. I mean, I don't know where that game is, but maybe that's just a glitch. Maybe it's a wrong time. Let's move on to the regular season. So you've got the obvious Ravens Chiefs. Let me just say when it comes to the Chiefs, oh my God, did the NFL bend over backwards for Taylor Swift and the Chiefs being at home against very beatable opponents in primetime games? Now that is a good game, the Ravens Chiefs, but you'll see. And then this is a weird quirk, obviously a Friday game to start the season. So it's Thursday, Friday, Sunday. And that game is in Brazil. Packers, Eagles, Philadelphia right now -1.5. And then I also thought it was cool that they went with the Cowboys at the Browns. So the Browns, obviously an Eastern team playing a 4:25 game to start the season. When I was really young, like in 2007, 2008, the Browns started the season against the Cowboys in a 4:25 game as well. That was when the Cowboys had Tony Romo. And the Cowboys won that game like 28-10, I want to say. But that's pretty cool that they gave the Browns a 4:25 game, and that's Tom Brady's first game he's announcing on Fox. Also, taking a look at this was just random. So this is also in week 1. Commanders at Buccaneers, 4:25 game. Very strange. Another 4:25 game. But why are the Bucs playing at 4:25? They actually have a few games. So do the Panthers. They've got a few 4 o'clock games. It is a little bit weird. Moving on to week number 2. Oh yeah, this Sunday night game. Bears at Texans. Very rare matchup, especially a Sunday night game. I mean, you can understand Caleb Williams at CJ Stroud. That'll be Caleb Williams' second start. But very rarely do you see the Bears go on the road to Houston, let alone it be a Sunday night game. It's kind of a rare matchup there. They are doing a few of these double headers. Jaguars-Bills is pretty standard, but then the Commanders at the Bengals, the second half of the doubleheader, the first one starting at 7:30, the second one starting at 8:15. I really wish we did the week 1 doubleheader where it was a 7:30 start and then 10:30, or like 7:15 and then 10:30, the doubleheader. Those were always fun, and it would always it would be like the Raiders playing at 10:30 or the Broncos or the Chargers. But they don't do that anymore, sadly. This is just kind of a random Monday night game. Saints at Chiefs. So yeah, this is really an onslaught where the Chiefs play a bunch of home games that are primetime games against beatable opponents. And it's just a random matchup. I'm surprised that's a Monday night game. Also, you do have the Cowboys-Steelers. I like the Cowboys-Steelers. I do like primetime games when they do AFC versus NFC. I'm a really big fan of those. And I'm sad when it comes to Thanksgiving, they really haven't done much of that. But we'll get to the Thanksgiving matchups later. But Cowboys-Steelers is a fun matchup. Steelers should be a little bit better with Russell Wilson. Cowboys, they're always a good team. I know people love to hate them, but they've always got a really fun offense to watch. With Dak Prescott, maybe not so much in the playoffs, but still. Moving on to, oh yeah, here's another one. Falcons at the Panthers. So the Panthers playing a home 4:25 game, just so random. Obviously, the Cowboys playing a 4:25 game, that's like, the Cowboys either play at 4:25 or 8 o'clock. Those are the two start times for them. And then the Bengals-Giants, oh my God. They had to put the Giants at home in MetLife Stadium on primetime against Joe Burrow. And by that point, they might have benched Daniel Jones. That's like week 5 or week 6, early October, mid-October. Moving on, you've got the Panthers at the Commanders in a 4:05 game. Yeah, they're just trying to add more 4 o'clock games, so they gave the Panthers another 4 o'clock game on the road. there. This is another one, Buccaneers at the Chiefs. So, I mean, the Buccaneers with Baker, I guess they were a fun story last year. The Chiefs are going to be big favorites in this game. They get another Monday night game. The next one, this is just kind of a cool matchup. The Dolphins at the Rams, a Monday night game in early November. You don't really see the Dolphins go on the road, especially at the Rams, very much. So a fun game there. Also, the Lions at the Texans is another really cool game as well. The Texans with another Sunday night game. The CJ Stroud hype, obviously. And then this is the Thanksgiving matchups. I'm not a fan of this. I really wish they would have an AFC team face the Lions. But because Caleb Williams, the receiving core, the hype with the Bears, I do understand, the Bears being in that game against the Lions. The Giants-Cowboys is just so boring. Can we not find a more fun team than the Giants, who may or may not be starting Daniel Jones at that point, maybe a backup? They're probably already out of the playoff picture. I just don't understand that, honestly. And then the Dolphins at the Packers. So when it comes to the night game, I was getting really annoyed with the NFL because they would always make it in a warm weather climate. This is like we're going right into Black Friday. We're going into the holiday season. Give me a cold weather game at least. And they're giving it to me. Maybe it'll be a nice little snowstorm. The Dolphins, you got to feel bad for them playing in that weather. We remember the playoffs this past year. Maybe they'll be playing in another cold game. I would imagine it's going to be pretty cold in Green Bay. Not freezing. I mean, it's still November, but... And then you do have the Friday game. I just think it's so terrible that they do these games on streaming services only. It's just so annoying to watch. I know people trying to defend them because streaming services are cheaper, but it's just not a good way to consume any sport that's happening in real time. A streaming service is not a good way. And there's that Prime Video, and of course the Chiefs at home again, with a relatively easy matchup against the Raiders. The Raiders starting AOC. Probably, I don't know, maybe. Here's another Buccaneers-Panthers 4 o'clock game. They're just really throwing those games in randomly. They're trying to give us more 4 o'clock games, and they give us the Buccaneers-Panthers twice in 4 o'clock windows. The 49ers-Bills should be good. Maybe a cold weather game there, I guess we'll have to see. Oh yeah, so this week, like right before Christmas, 10 days before Christmas, you've got you have 5 4:25 starts and 0 4:05 starts. And it looks like those are some actually really good matchups, or maybe 2 good matchups. Bills-Lions is good, Steelers-Eagles in Battle of Pennsylvania is good as well. Buccaneers-Chargers might be good. Patriots-Cardinals probably a dud. Colts-Broncos, But yeah, that's pretty cool. 5 4:25 games, 0 4:05 games. And then they're doing another doubleheader. Bears-Vikings, pretty boring. But then you've got the Falcons on the road in Vegas. An obscure random matchup. You like to see something like that. And then moving on, Browns-Bengals. I loved when they had the Browns at home against the Bengals with the Halloween colors on Halloween night. And the Browns destroyed the Bengals. That was a great, great time. And then you do also have Saturday games. You do have the Texans at the Chiefs. So the Chiefs getting another, primetime game. That's a 1 o'clock game on Saturday. I think that might be when the college football playoff is going on. I'm not sure. But I know they're going to collide. Those two things are going to collide because there's going to be more playoff games this year. Steelers-Ravens, that's going to be on Fox. Just an old-fashioned rivalry there. Taking a look at these matchups, 49ers-Dolphins, that's a nice 4:25 window game there, and it's in Miami. You rarely see Miami host 4:25 games, so that'll be good for Hard Rock going into the night. Obviously, at that point, on the 22nd of December, the sun sets really early, so that's going to be basically a de facto night game. And then you do have the Buccaneers at the Cowboys. Buccaneers getting one too many primetime games. I do not think they're going to be very good this coming season, but we'll see. And then you've got the Netflix charade. They're just trying to jam it down our throats with these Christmas games. Even though Christmas is on a Wednesday, they're doing it. And they've got the Chiefs again, this time on the road at the Steelers. 1 o'clock start time on Netflix. And then the Ravens at the Texans. The Texans getting another primetime game as well. So those are just some random little scheduling quirks that I found. Just interesting games that were kind of weird. But that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you follow me on X. Link to that's always in the description.